Hi everyone, my name's Shilini and I'm a first year med student at Deakin University in Victoria, Australia. Today I'm going to talk to you about my journey to med school. I think it was a little unconventional and adventurous, a lot of highs and lows, so good luck. No, just kidding. I think it's great that the med mentors at Deakin are putting together some clips for you guys to talk with you about your journeys and give you advice, because going into medicine in and of itself is really difficult, and starting on in a new place is hard as well. So it's a journey that is really insightful and rewarding if you know that this is where you want to be. So I want to give you guys some insight in terms of how I knew that this was the right path for me. In terms of deciding that I wanted to do med, I think I knew from the time I was finishing high school that I wanted to go into medicine. I was really good at science, a very social person, so I like talking to people. So I thought those things kind of go hand in hand. Why don't I go into medicine, be a doctor? I was really into women's health, pregnancy, neonatal, prenatal health. So I knew I wanted to go towards the obstetrics and gynecology route, but I didn't want to go down that conventional biomedical science path with undergrad. So I went into an undergrad at the University of Guelph that allowed me to do arts and science, and I did a double minor in biology and family and child studies to kind of get those two aspects hand in hand of the science and also understanding families and how families are created, how people conceptualize families and the psychology behind it, just kind of that sociology sort of path. Unfortunately, if I'm being honest though, that wasn't very helpful for me in terms of getting into medicine, but it definitely paid off in the long run, and I'm happy that I did it because now I feel like more of an expert in my field. So after I finished my undergrad, I had written my MCAT once. I applied to med and I didn't get in, so I didn't know what to do after that. So I thought, hey, like I haven't done anything really research focused. Why don't I do my Master's of Science? Then I can have kind of like a more science background. I can delve into something I'm interested in, and then I get some research experience. I can publish some papers. So I did my Master's of Science at the University of Toronto with a collaborative specialization in women's health. With that, I wrote my master's thesis on the facilitators of and barriers to same-sex male couples and single men having children through the use of assisted reproductive technologies such as egg donation and surrogacy. So very similar swing with my undergrad in terms of family building and biology kind of coming together. Single men and gay men usually aren't the first people you think of when you think of people who are trying to have a family, but you know, there's lots of different demographics that want to have a family, lots of different kinds of families out there. So I thought this is a really good opportunity for me to like learn in science and also advocate for a more marginalized population in healthcare, which I'm super passionate about. So I went ahead and I finished my master's. At this point, I think I was writing my MCAT for a third time because I wrote it again the summer after I finished undergrad, and then I wrote it again the first year of my master's because I did a 2-year master's program, and then I reapplied to med. At this point I applied both within Canada and internationally to the States and to Australia because I thought, you know what, if a Canadian med school doesn't want to accept me, then why not go have an adventure? And I got in to Deakin in Australia. Deakin was the only med school that I ended up interviewing at. I had like more interviews asked of me, but at that point I was so over the application process. So I was like, you know what, this school seems great, and I really vibed with the staff at Deakin who interviewed me, and I felt like, wow, these people really care about what I can provide as a student to this program, and what expertise I have as an individual and how that can make me a potentially better physician, which is something that I didn't really see um, from the Canadian med school. So I decided to go with Deakin, and yeah, so then I decided to move to Australia, which all my friends thought was really wild, but um, I definitely wanted to go more unconventional route. I wanted to have an adventure, learn in a different way, go kind of forge my own path. So I'm really glad that I got an opportunity to do that. Um, and I think that applying to med and pursuing medicine can sometimes be really defeating because you feel that I need to be the smartest, I need to be the most ambitious, the most organized, but I don't think that's necessarily true. I think there's lots of different options that you can pursue for medicine. As long as you're true to yourself and what you want and what you're passionate about, then that really stands out. And once you're in med school, I think getting there is a huge majority of the battle. I know that being at Deakin, all the staff is super supportive towards your learning needs. They want you to succeed and they want to see you become like amazing physicians. So that really vibes with me. I love being in Australia because coming from Canada, I'm cold all the time. So I love the sunshine. I'm really glad about my decision to come to Australia. I have such a supportive community of people in Australia. The other international students are super supportive, as are the domestic students, as are the staff. I have great family and friends behind me who are really rooting for me, who want to see me succeed and pursue my dreams. So that's huge to me. If I have any advice, it's to be open-minded. Not everything about your med school journey is going to be exactly how you thought it would be in your head, and that's probably for the best, and it's okay. And I know I'm so deadpan and stuff, but like I really am passionate about medicine, and I think you really have to know that you're passionate about medicine to be in med school, because I know I'm talking about how hard and defeating everything can be and seem, but it's true. Like, you learn so much in med school. It's like you're getting slapped in the face with information all the time. So you really have to know why you're there and what is driving you to do all the work that you have to do. And the last thing that you should do is compare yourself to other people, because that's a really slippery slope. I think it's important to stay in your lane, know what's valuable about you, know what you bring to the table, and what makes you amazing. You're there for a reason, just like everyone else. So just always remember that and don't lose sight of who you are and what your goals are, what your values are. And finally, I'm going to say have a good time, because we're not getting any younger. Life is hard, school is hard. So have a good time, enjoy yourself, and enjoy the ride, because the time that you're like in med right now, it seems like really challenging at some times, but you're not going to get that time back later on, and you're going to look back on it and be like, oh, I should have had more fun. So don't regret that later. Just because you're smart and you're in med school doesn't mean that you're not allowed to have a good time and still be successful. So, go forth and achieve.